I just got my brand new Gerber Stakeout Spark, and there are a ton of things. I'm going to have to make a couple videos because I've got a ton of things I want to talk to you about. But first of all, let's just do a general overview and look at some of the features that it has. Now, some of its biggest features are the saw on the outside, the knife. These are fairly similar to the original Stakeout. I will show you some minor differences in a little bit. Both of these are locking external tools. That is different than the Stakeout in that they had one that locked on one side, one dent on the other, and then the internal tools also did not lock, whereas these are just one layer. There's no real layer on the other side unless you call this hook a layer. It's just essentially a single layer on this side, both locking. I really like the clip. This reminds me of something perhaps off one of Gerber's knives. I'm guessing they snatched it and put it on the Spark, but it looks nice. The green accents. One of the things that really surprised me was this is called the Baltic Haze. Then there's a Coyote Brown. This one right here, I assumed was white and green. I thought that was a little different, but it looked white and green to me in the pictures. It is actually silver and green. That was very startling when I saw it. I thought, oh, this is not what I expected. I guess I expected Arctic haze, perhaps, but it's Baltic, and I guess that's silver. I don't know. All right, so we've got the pocket clip. We've got these two outside implements. The clip pretty much remains very similar, bottle cap, lifter, all that fun stuff. Then here, this has changed. This is now, I guess I have to open the handle. Let's see here. All right. Well, there we go. I may have, no, I guess I didn't put that in backwards. That just snaps in very securely. All right. It's got a little piece of metal right here that goes down a little bit and fits in this notch. That's interesting. Very securely. This is the ferro rod. Now, before you use it, when you get yours, make sure you scrape off the black. All right, clip. Then also ruler markings on this side. This is something different, again, from the Stakeout. The Stakeout had a file. I sort of like that. I'm not sure everyone else did. You do have measurements on this side. A little different, these measurements. Not your typical measurements with the numbers going up. Usually they're always vertical, I guess, instead of horizontal. I guess that's how you say that. Then on the inside, we have the crucial pliers, essentially. To me, they look exactly the same as the crucial. I don't think there's any differences. Pretty much the same. These springs are pretty much the same as well. This is how the pliers work. They come up to this right here and then sit against this spring, and that is the stop. Then on the outside right here, we have this package hook. Again, there are a lot of people that are not a fan of this. A lot of people that love Victorinox are a huge fan of this. I don't know what to think. I'm not one of my favorite tools, but I can see how it would be useful for some things, and perhaps a lot of people will like it that buy it, and the people that don't may not buy it, perhaps. All in all, a very cool tool in a sense, and we'll get into this a little bit more. I want to do a weigh-in. When we put the Gerber Stakeout Spark on the scales, comes in at around 5.3 ounces. The Gerber Crucial comes in around 5.2 ounces. Very, very close in weight, these two minimalist tools that Gerber now has. I think it's really neat that Gerber has added a minimalist tool to their line. You may not be a fan of the concept, but overall, I am a bigger fan of the straighter handles as opposed to the curved. I'm not a huge fan of curved handles. It's okay in the skeletal, I guess, Leatherman skeletal. Even there, I probably would be a larger fan, a bigger fan of straight handles. Gerber has done this with the Stakeout Spark, and I do think it is definitely an improvement over the Crucial, although both, to be honest, aren't that bad. They're very easy to carry in the pocket. Let's do some measurements. That's one of the things I was really interested in. The Gerber Stakeout Spark comes in around 4.5 inches with everything closed, or comes in about 11.5 centimeters. Now, one of the cool things is about 3.5 inches is essentially the tool set. If you got rid of the clip, this is essentially a 3.5 inch tool, which is really, really neat. I've got some ideas about that. I'll share that perhaps in a month or so, but I've got some ideas in the works. Very, very unique tool. Now, I did want to go over some differences between this and the original Stakeout. Now, I assumed that Gerber, for cost-cutting purposes, just like they used, essentially, perhaps we should look at that, the same, there we go, plier head as the Crucial. I mean, to me, these look almost identical. I think they're pretty much the same, even in width. Let's get this on camera here. Yeah, it looks like the same exact plier head to me. Now, from the Gerber Stakeout, I was surprised that some things actually have changed. Maybe not a huge surprise, but even the knife seems perhaps a little different, maybe a tad longer. I feel like on the Gerber Stakeout Spark than the saw. That's not a huge difference because this was, or a huge surprise rather, this was on the inside and it was rounded, whereas in this one is a little different so it can fit down in the handle. Not a huge surprise, but it is a big deal to me that both of these lock. I think that's a great improvement. But one of the big things that surprised me was the Stakeout Spark is significantly larger in the handle size. Not only is it 2 layers as opposed to Gerber Stakeout Spark single layer, but the original Gerber Stakeout rather is thicker and also longer in the handle. Very, very unique. Gerber has really tried to keep down the weight on this. I think the emphasis for them is to make a tool that is very lightweight for camping, and that ties into the packaging. What does Gerber say? Camp more, bring less. Start a fire, meal prep, break down camp. This is their ethos for this tool. Now, they talk about butterfly opening, the lock pocket clip, texture grip, bottle opener, fire starter. Then on the back, we have the tools. They talk about 10 tools, but again, some of these needle nose and standard pliers, wire cutters, I would probably consider that almost one, but I understand from a marketing perspective, you need to add a whole bunch. We've got the tend puller, pocket clip, bottle opener, the clip, ferro rod, the roller, the saw. Now they call this an awl on the end in a ferro rod striker. That's interesting. Plain edge blade. Let's go ahead, bring this back. Take a look at the saw. I did not realize maybe that's why it's pointed. Okay, so that's unique. So we have it pointed to be an awl, supposedly, and then this is beveled to be a ferro rod striker. Well, I guess since they said that, maybe we'll have to test it out. Man, this clip is really hard to get out sometimes. I finally got the ferro rod out. It does fit very securely in there. I don't think I've ever had that much trouble getting a ferro rod out, which is a good thing, sort of, because you don't want it falling out. All right, let's go ahead, use this striker. Yeah, there we go. All right, I hope I don't start a fire here. That works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. To correctly understand the Gerber Stakeout Spark, perhaps we need to take a walk down memory lane. Gerber has had the Bull Rush. They have the Balance, the Octane, the Crucial, These are some of the mini tools that Gerber has had that are all plier based in the past. So Gerber does definitely have a long history of creating some more minimalist tool sets, but I really do like the direction they're going with the Gerber Stakeout Spark. I want to make a couple more videos on the Gerber Stakeout Spark. I feel like there's some interesting comparisons and contrasts to draw with other tools. Now, when we talk about the price on the Gerber Stakeout Spark, this one is only $7 more than the Gerber Crucial right now on their website. I think the price on this will go down drastically in the coming months, but for now it's $69. A Gerber Crucial is $62 on Gerber's website, which to me is a little bit insane. But then of course, Leatherman charges up to $90 or so for their Leatherman skeletal. So I guess it makes a little bit more sense when you think of it that way. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And we will talk about a lot more things on the Gerber Stakeout Spark. Make sure you stay tuned. One of the reasons why I like to do more than one videos on a new tool is because a lot of you have questions and it's a little bit hard to answer all of them in a short video. Maybe there's things I haven't even thought of. And if you leave comments below when I do a new video, then I can go ahead and address your questions and concerns on this new tool, which probably will help us all out.